The morning sun streamed through the windows of Sweet Dreams Bakery, my little shop in downtown Chicago. I wiped down the marble counters, breathing in the scent of fresh croissants and artisan bread. My family would be arriving soon for their monthly breakfast visit, a tradition they mostly maintained to remind me of my wasted potential. Right on schedule, the bell chimed. Mom, Dad, and my cousin Isabella swept in, designer bags and disapproving looks in place. "Elena, darling," Mom sighed, eyeing my flour-dusted apron. "The shop looks quaint as always." Isabella smoothed her Chanel suit. "Still making cupcakes? How sweet." The condescension dripped like cheap frosting. If they only knew about the meetings I'd been having all week, the contracts sitting in my office safe. "Coffee," I offered, leading them to their usual table. "We just got a special Brazilian roast from my little supplier." Dad checked his Rolex. "You know, the Martinez Group's coffee division could get you better rates." I bit back a smile, remembering the acquisition papers I'd signed yesterday, papers that gave me ownership of that very coffee division. "I manage," I said simply, pouring their drinks. "How's the family business expanding?" Isabella purred. "We just bought 3 more luxury hotel chains, though I suppose that's a bit beyond your scale." The shop's bell chimed again. My assistant, Sarah, appeared at my elbow. "Ms. Martinez, your 9 a.m. is here early." "Perfect. Send him in," I said, straightening my apron. "No point changing into business attire now. Let them see me exactly as they'd always dismissed me." The door opened and Marcus Chin, CEO of Luxury Suites International, strode in. My family froze mid-sip. "Miss Martinez," he greeted warmly. "The acquisition paperwork is complete. All 300 locations are now officially under your umbrella." Mom's teacup slipped from her fingers, shattering on the marble floor. "Wonderful," I replied calmly. "And the rebranding timeline?" "Our marketing team is ready. By next month, every luxury suites location worldwide will bear the Sweet Dreams name, and your recipes." Isabella choked on her coffee. "Worldwide," she croaked. I turned to my shell-shocked family. "Oh, did I forget to mention? My little bakery just acquired the largest luxury dessert chain in the world." Marcus pulled out a tablet displaying a map of global locations. "Your new empire, Ms. Martinez, 300 stores across 27 countries. Though I must say, none can match the original recipes from this little shop." Dad's face had gone pale. "Elena, all those silly experiments in the kitchen. They weren't just recipes," I corrected, gesturing to the display cases. "They were prototypes, each one tested, refined, and protected by international patents." "Patents?" Mom whispered. 57 of them," I confirmed. "That cream puff technique you mocked? Revolutionary enough that luxury hotels fought for exclusive rights. That simple chocolate cake? Its molecular gastronomy is now studied in culinary schools worldwide." Isabella stood shakily. But you're just a baker." "A baker who built a silent empire," Marcus interjected. "Ms. Martinez's innovations have transformed modern pastry science." "Actually," I corrected gently, "you approached me 6 times with acquisition offers." 7, Marcus said with a rueful smile. "Your patents were too valuable. Your techniques too revolutionary. So when you finally agreed to buy us instead." "Buy?" Dad sputtered. "With what money?" I walked to my office, returning with a folder. "Remember last year's cute little cookbook you didn't bother to read?" I slid out a royalty statement. "It's been the best-selling culinary text in 12 languages. That paid for the first 100 acquisitions. The patents funded the rest." Mom picked up the paper with trembling hands. Sarah appeared again. "Ms. Martinez, Tokyo is on the line about the flagship launch, and Paris wants to confirm your keynote at next month's Global Chef Symposium. Tell Tokyo I'll call back in an hour. Confirm Paris, I'll be headlining as usual." Isabella sank into her chair. "You're keynoting the Global Pastry Symposium? That's the most prestigious culinary event in the world." "Yes," I said, wiping my hands on my apron. "I've headlined it 3 times already. But you were probably too busy mocking my little baking hobby to notice." Marcus checked his watch. "The press release goes live in an hour. You'll be front page of the Financial Times by lunch." "Perfect timing," I smiled. "Just in time for my family's monthly reminder about my wasted potential." The shop's bell chimed again. A film crew from the Food Network and a team from Forbes entered. "Your interview is ready, Miss Martinez," Sarah announced. "They want to discuss your revolution of the luxury dessert industry." I turned to my family one last time. "You should try the croissants before you leave. They're the same ones now served in every five-star hotel in Europe." I paused, smirking. "Including the ones you just bought?" As I walked toward the waiting cameras, Isabella whispered, "Our hotels serve her pastries?" "Not just yours," Marcus replied. "Everyone's. Your little baker cousin has been the invisible queen of luxury desserts for years. You just never bothered to notice. Sometimes the sweetest success rises quietly while everyone else looks the other way. And sometimes the best revenge isn't served cold. It's served warm, fresh from the oven. With a side of humble pie. A culinary journalist raised their hand. "But your most revolutionary patent," they pressed, "is the temperature-stable molecular reconstruction process. How did you develop that while maintaining the facade of a small bakery?" I moved to one of the lab stations where complex molecular diagrams glowed across multiple screens. Every morning I opened the bakery at 5 a.m. By 7 o'clock I'd finished the day's baking. Then, while my family assumed I was just playing with recipes, I was actually conducting advanced molecular gastronomy research with a full team of food scientists. The cameras panned to the research team emerging from an adjacent lab, each wearing pristine white coats embroidered with the Sweet Dreams logo. "Dr. Martinez," my head scientist addressed me by the title my family never knew I had. "The crystallization stability results are ready." A sharp gasp escaped my mother below. "Doctor?" A reporter jumped on the detail. "3 times over," I replied, pulling up my credentials on the main screen. Molecular gastronomy from Le Cordon Bleu. Food chemistry from MIT. Business innovation from Harvard. All completed while running my cute little bakery. Through the glass floor, I saw my father frantically Googling my name, discovering years of published research papers and international accolades he had never known about. "Your family's hotel chain?" another journalist asked. "They've been serving your patented pastries without realizing they were yours?" "Along with every other luxury hotel chain worldwide," I confirmed. "That simple croissant my cousin mocked this morning? The recipe licenses for $50,000 per location." Isabella, still visible below, looked like she might faint. Sarah peered at my side. "The Martinez Hotel Group is on line 1. Their board wants to discuss licensing fees immediately. Tell them my standard rate just doubled for family," I said smoothly. "And they'll need to reapply for all existing licenses under the new ownership structure." The reporters laughed. Through the glass I saw my father clutching his chest, probably calculating the astronomical cost. "One final question," a Forbes reporter asked. "Why reveal everything now?" I walked to the glass floor looking directly down at my family. Because sometimes success isn't just about proving others wrong. It's about showing them what they could have seen all along, if they'd only bothered to look closer. My phone buzzed again. Sweet Dreams stock had jumped another 30%. On the screens behind me, live footage rolled of our global locations: Paris, Tokyo, Dubai, each one a monument to the empire I'd built while they weren't watching. I turned to the cameras. "Who'd like to see what's really inside my simple recipe book?" I pressed a button and the hidden lab walls rotated, revealing thousands of patents, awards, and scientific publications. Each one bore my name. Each one worth millions. Each one achieved while my family thought I was just baking cupcakes. Below, I saw my mother finally stumble across my profile in Forbes 40 Under 40. The feature she had ignored last year, too busy lamenting my wasted potential. Sarah approached again. "The James Beard Foundation called. They're moving up your Lifetime Achievement Awards ceremony. Tell them I'll be there," I said. Right after I finished teaching my family the true value of a little bakery. Because sometimes the biggest empires are built in plain sight, hidden behind flour-dusted aprons and humble storefronts. And sometimes, the sweetest success is watching those who dismissed you finally taste the magnitude of their mistake. Through the glass, I watched my family's worldview crumble like one of my perfectly engineered pastries. Above, the cameras rolled, capturing the moment the simple baker revealed herself as a global culinary revolutionary. 1 month later, I stood in the grand ballroom of the Martinez Plaza Hotel, my family's flagship property, preparing for the Sweet Dreams Global Launch Gala. The irony of the venue wasn't lost on anyone. The guest list, Ms. Martinez, Sarah said, handing me a tablet. Every major luxury brand CEO, 36 Michelin-starred chefs, and critics from all the top publications. Oh, and your family RSVP'd. All of them. They also requested a private meeting before the event. I checked my reflection in the mirrored wall. Gone was the flour-dusted apron, replaced by a custom Chanel suit. My bakery uniform had served its purpose. Send them up, I said, surveying the ballroom. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above displays of my creations, each one a patented masterpiece of culinary science. Digital screens showcased our global locations, while molecular diagrams explained the groundbreaking techniques behind every recipe. The private elevator opened. My family stepped out, looking visibly humbled after a month of watching their simple baker daughter dominate the luxury food industry. Elena, Dad began, then faltered, taking in the opulent scene. His own hotel transformed into the centerpiece of my empire. The licensing contracts are ready, I said, nodding to Sarah. Standard rate, plus the family premium we discussed. Sweetheart, Mom stepped forward. We didn't come about contracts. Isabella, stripped of her usual designer armor, clutched a magazine. You're on every cover. Forbes, Time, Business Weekly. Her voice shook. They're calling you the queen of luxury gastronomy. Actually, I corrected, accepting a tablet from my chief of innovation, that title is already outdated. As the ballroom's massive screens lit up, I revealed the newest announcement. Sweet Dreams International acquires the Global Restaurant Group, the International Beverage Consortium, and the Molecular Gastronomy Institute. Dad nearly collapsed into a chair. Those are the largest luxury food and beverage companies in the world. Yes, I said calmly. Along with the premier culinary research facility on the planet. I smiled faintly. Turns out all those years of playing with recipes built quite the war chest for acquisitions. The screens filled with images of Michelin-starred restaurants, exclusive beverage brands, and cutting-edge research facilities, each one now part of the empire I had built from a little bakery. Mom whispered the only word she could find. How?